In Roofman, Channing Tatum plays Jeffrey Manchester, a divorced army vet who becomes a wanted criminal after robbing over 40 McDonald's locations across 2 years. The whole thing starts because he's struggling to provide for his 3 kids, and he uses his military training, his eye for detail, for routine to plan these heists. He sneaks in through the roofs at night, keeps things civil, and becomes this mysterious figure the media dubs the Roofman. He gets caught, sentenced to 45 years, but here's where it gets wild. He escapes in 2004 by hiding under a delivery truck. And instead of running far away, he ends up hiding in a Toys R Us, like actually living inside the store. He furnishes a hideout behind a bicycle display, survives on peanut M&Ms, and basically becomes this ghost in the machine. And then he meets Lee, a single mom who works there, played by Kirsten Dunst, and the whole thing becomes this strange, beautiful love story underneath this crime narrative. And honestly, this movie is pretty good. Derek Cianfrance is a really great filmmaker who always manages to make stories that are original and have emotion and feel like they have a purpose. This is technically a crime comedy, and sure, I get it's kind of reminded me of Logan Lucky, that Channing Tatum movie, because there's a heist and some funny stuff in it. That was a Steven Soderbergh movie. That was a fun heist movie with, had some drama, but I think Roofman is way better. It's cleaner, it's stripped down, it knows exactly what it wants to be, and it doesn't complicate itself. It's not trying to be too clever or twist itself into knots like some of these other throwback crime films we've been getting. It just works. Cianfrance is a filmmaker obsessed with broken families and fractured people. He made Blue Valentine, The Place Beyond the Pines. Those are devastating films. They're dark, they're heavy. Roofman still has that melancholy, that sadness running through it, but there's something almost hopeful about it. The character work is extraordinary. Jeffrey isn't a typical criminal. He's desperately trying to connect with his own kids while falling for Lee and her daughters. There's this real humanity to the whole thing. And the tone, that's the real trick here. This isn't exactly a funny movie, but I wouldn't call it a straight drama either. It's quirky and weird in this perfect way. The whole premise is bizarre. A guy robbing McDonald's through roofs, living in a toy store, dancing around like Tom Cruise in Risky Business when nobody's watching. But instead of playing that for laughs, Cianfrance uses that weirdness as the honest backdrop for a genuine family drama. He takes this potboiler of a true story and treats it with so much care and craft. That's the lesson here, that great filmmaking isn't about doing something new per se. It's about taking a familiar story and bending it, twisting it, making it feel earned and authentic and entertaining. A movie could be, derivative. There have been many movies like this before about an underdog, about a likable criminal, but this has its own unique identity and it works because it embraces it. Because I always think a movie has to entertain. That's for me, the number one rule. And Roofman is absolutely entertaining. It also has something to say about what people will do for their families. And Tatum is perfectly cast in this. He's been in solid movies before, but this feels like the right material for him at the right time. He's incredibly persuasive, and I think there's no other thing I would want in a movie like this. He makes all of the weird, quirky things, Jeffrey trying to bond with the daughters, trying to bond with Lee, it feels genuine, it feels earned, so then when there's an emotional moment later, you feel like it's earned. He brings this gentleness and vulnerability to the character that makes the whole emotional core land, and Kirsten Dunst, she's got this edge, this restraint in her performance. She doesn't overplay anything. The chemistry between them is just effortless and genuine. Honestly, I think it's kind of a long shot, but I think Kirsten Dunst could get an Oscar nomination for this movie, and it would feel deserved. I don't know if they're going to campaign for this. Channing Tatum, it's probably way more of a long shot, but honestly, he was really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Comedy, though. That feels like it would fit. The supporting cast kills it, too. Lakeith Stanfield as Channing Tatum's army buddy, Juno Temple, Jimmy O Yang, Peter Dinklage as the Toys R Us manager. Everyone's locked in, and everyone really counts. Their characters are great. Here's the thing about Roofman. It's a small, unassuming movie. It doesn't feel like awards bait, but it's so carefully made, so thoughtfully constructed that it reminds you why cinema matters. It's shot on 35mm, filmed on location North Carolina, and that grounded, real aesthetic just makes everything hit harder. It's a movie where you believe every frame, every relationship, every decision. In a year where we're getting so many bloated, overcomplicated blockbusters and prestige pictures trying too hard, Roofman just quietly does what great filmmaking does. It tells a story about real people in a way that feels raw and honest and impossibly entertaining. It doesn't need to be groundbreaking to be great, and it really is. So let me know what you guys think of Roofman. I really enjoyed this film. See it when it's on streaming. I think November 11th it comes to streaming. Thank you guys so much for watching.